Hi, I'm Brand, and I still love When Calls the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan, and I still despise When Calls the Heart, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Ooh, it's a Thursday, everybody.
Oh,
a Thursday in October?
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
That's unbelievable.
It
How's
feels-
Cancun, Bran?
I'm back.
I know. How was it?
Oh, how was it?
What did you think I said?
Yeah, I liked it. I had a lot of... I tried...
Just a solid C+.
I know. I tried your thing where you kept having...
Order more steak?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
That was tough.
It was
on
tough
me.
on
That
you?
was tough on my belly.
In your
but,
digestive tract. I got you.
I'm doing well. I'm good, and I'm
Looks
happy.
like you didn't SPF quite enough.
Yes.
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah.
But you know what I'm
Lobstery.
excited about? We are just a mere, what is that, 2 weeks?
Yeah,
So
this week and then 2 more episodes, and then it's Christmas Marathon. The Marathon Brand, where we sit and watch. Brian will be there, I think, for some of it.
Yeah.
Our good friend Alonzo
He's coming out?
is coming out.
Great.
There
Jax,
may be some
you
more.
coming?
Ted said it wasn't in the budget.
Unbelievable.
classic
That's a
Ted.
likely story, Jax.
We'll see. We can ask him. We'll
Yeah.
inquire. We'll
I'm
inquire.
excited, though.
You
It's going to
never
be a
know.
really fun year.
You never
It's
know
gonna be
who
a really
might
fun
join
year.
us at the old marathon.
I love a good marathon. I think it's going to be really exciting. And what a crop it's turning out to be this year.
Oh, man.
From
You've
what we're
seen some of
hearing,
those titles.
From what we're hearing, this is
Reindeer
going to be...
Games, that one looks great.
I don't think that's one of them. buddy.
Reindeer Games?
I think you got the wrong press release.
No. Reindeer Games. You
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah, you're right. That's when Tanner Reindeer comes up
Of the
with
reindeer family.
Yeah, comes up with an Olympic Games.
That's right.
For children in the town of Lamborghini
Falls.
Falls.
Lamborghini Falls.
Falls.
Lamborghini Falls. Yeah,
And that movie's gonna be so good.
Yeah,
Did you happen last year, Jax, to catch our because we weren't getting enough?
We weren't getting the.
We remember last
Enough
year.
info?
We weren't getting enough info about the movies, and so we had to do a preview show.
episode.
And so we had
like
they
3,
announced. Oh yeah, so they announced. Remember, so they announced the titles,
and they didn't give you.
but they didn't
anything
give us all the
else.
press releases. So they did like them in 2 batches, and then in between the first batch and the second batch, they announced the actual schedule with all the titles, but we didn't have the rest of the information
So
about.
we just had the titles.
So we did a full preview episode where we made up synopses
I think
about
I
titles.
do recall that. It felt like you were detective.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
The
doing it.
Spirits
Put it
one
all
was
together,
great
yeah.
because it was
That was a fun episode.
it was some Spirits of Christmas or something, and you made the dude own a liquor store.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah,
Fran.
right.
Thank you.
It's next
Thank you.
level. It's better
More
than your
shopping.
reindeer games. I can
Yeah.
tell you that right now.
It's ghost
Thomas
and it's
Reindeer.
spirits. It's
Yeah.
both and everybody.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm getting really excited about Christmas. It's this time of the year that like
Can't come soon enough.
I know I get bubbly,
Sash?
and I don't know. You know what I'm talking about though, Jax?
Oh, I do. I'm gonna
once-
wear a Christmas sweater next time.
I love it. Once you kind of flip the page to the calendar page that is to
Flip the
October,
page.
you're like, well, it's practically here. And
Can I tell you how my life has changed about Christmas since I started doing the show?
ahead.
I still think October's absurdly early for Christmas.
Sure.
But that marathon,
Yeah.
it's become this tradition that I do feel like is earned. Like we do this thing, it kicks it off, and it does feel a little Christmassy,
Yeah.
Brad. And then I still don't want to hear about it until after Thanksgiving. But it's great. Good for you. I'm happy for you. You do what you would like to.
Yeah,
He's
and then
such
we
a
got
Christmas boy.
and then we got Christmas Con in December. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yep.
So I mean, overall, it just feels like, as they say in the business, it's Christmas, baby.
You said it.
So I'm ready for that. I'm also ready to talk about When Calls the Heart. Personally, this is a big episode. It's season 8, episode 8. As I mentioned last week, it's the Golden Goose episode of the year.
It's the golden episode of the season.
That's right.
8-8.
Because 8-8, every time there's a season with an episode of the same
That's
number,
right. And you remember season 7, episode 7. What a doozy.
it's the Golden Goose. It's Golden Goose. This episode is called, do you remember?
Bill Avery is my
Serious
lover.
now.
Bill Avery is my lover and what?
Serious now.
No, it's a parade and a charade.
Bill Avery's my lover. Sheesh.
I don't like that I said it either,
PG
but
podcast,
what can you do? Parade and a charade originally aired on April 11th.
Parade and a charade.
Yeah.
Parade and charade.
Parade and charade. April 11th,
That's all they
2021, and it went a little something like this. Nathan and Elizabeth argue about what happened at the whole adoption ceremony situation. She goes to talk to Lucas about what happened at the ceremony, but he gets busy with a phone call in French. And so he says, we'll talk about it later, oui. Florence makes sure that Ned is comfy in his chair, tells me that Robert is going to deliver the mail now. If Ned wasn't uncomfortable yet, he is now. Bill vents to Lee about being forced to turn in his Mountie uniform. I don't know if we've talked about this enough yet, but Bill is upset about having to turn in his Mountie uniform. Christopher keeps coming around trying to talk to, what's her name? Rachel? Is that her name? And Rosemary's not having it. Bill goes to talk to Gowan about his son and how he thinks that maybe he stole a car. Gowan gets upset about this. You think just because I killed everybody in town that my son would steal a car? That's basically the conversation. Elizabeth goes to help Angela read Braille. They're getting started early, even though it's summer. You got to get started early. Jesse is at work, but he's real mopey and grumpy and is just getting mad at people. Nathan is wanting to talk to Allie about the charade that she tried to pull, and but gets called away to deal with a prisoner that's apparently escaped. So many prisoners escaping and in and around this area, and there's really nothing we can do about it.
No.
Christopher runs out of Gowan's office saying that he needs help. Apparently, Gowan's had another episode. And Christopher runs over to Lucas and says, if something happens, it's on you. Lucas is like, what's going on with this guy? Elizabeth goes to see Lucas in his office. They cuddle on a chair, hold hands, and it gets real spicy. They don't do anything, but they might as well have. Yeah. Like, you feel bad watching it. Like, this is between you two. Like, let me leave the room. She walks out. She fans herself. She's just, woo-wee. Gowan is in a real good mood after almost dying, after finding out that his son actually cares about him. Remember the letter from a little while ago? It turns out that was a letter that he sent to his son. It came back open with no response, which made him feel like he didn't care, but now he sees that he does. So I should die more often. Rachel and Christopher talk, and they end up kissing. So good on them. Quick to the punch. And she's like, come find me tomorrow.
That voice.
Apparently, Rachel needs to go home to spend her birthday with her mom. I don't know the rules here, but what can you do? Rosemary is excited to find out that Dottie is not selling the dress shop after all. So yay. Christopher is digging a trench like a crazy guy. And Lucas is like, hey, maybe go spend time with your dad who almost died. And he's like, bug off, Lucas. Why are you always trying to ruin my life? I'm going to dig this trench. And he's like, all right, man, whatever. So he's walking away, and then him and Nathan get into a little puff match with like huff and puff.
Huff and puff.
I'm a guy too. We like the same girl. Her. It's kind of basically that. And Nathan's like, I'm not going to give up on Elizabeth. And then Lucas is like, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, pal. I'm out of here. Allie tries to set Elizabeth and Nathan up again. My girl.
She's Allie.
She's Allie, and she is up to it again. She brings an invite, another handwritten invitation. When she opens it up, she realizes that this is for dinner with Nathan. And she's like, Allie, I'm not coming to dinner. She gets mad. She rips it up. She throws it on the floor. Lee and Rosemary get in the car with Rachel to bring her to the station. Christopher's nowhere to be found, so that makes Rachel sad. But we do find out that Lee found his pocket watch. Rachel knows that Christopher took it, which means he must have done the right thing and put it back. He's growing, that guy.
Yeah, he is.
Elizabeth goes to talk to Nathan about this whole thing that's been going on. They argue back and forth. Bill rides off, and he's in his suit. There's horns playing. There's a band playing. So Elizabeth and Nathan stop their arguments to cheer as this guy does a thing with a horse and rides off into the sunset. Cut back to the argument. And she's like, Nathan, I know you're not telling me the full truth. Just tell me the truth. Tell me what's true. I want the truth. And he says, so you know how I was at Fort Clay? So apparently, like, because he got in trouble, he was pulled off a job. And you know who was sent in his place, in his stead? Jack.
Big boy Jack.
Big boy Jack. Big boy Jack. Big boy Jack. And that's the job that he was pulled off that Jack went in his stead is the job that killed him. And can you believe it? Elizabeth is upset by this news. And we're all like, maybe there's still a chance for him. And that, my friends, was When Calls the Heart, Season 8, Episode 8, A Parade and a Charade. We did it, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on
Deck
the Hallmark. Hey! I'm back.
Was that
Oh, man, it's just like Jack Wagner.
a horse talking and then getting whipped?
Yes.
You were the horse that was talking and then got whipped.
Yeah.
You're multi-talented.
No, that's not what happened.
No.
I was the horse, and then I became me again, and I whipped the horse to get him out
You
again.
became me again?
Me again.
Okay.
Bran.
You were Bran to begin with.
Nope.
You went and
You were
became
the
a
horse.
horse.
I was the horse to begin with. I came back into, and I sat back in
Me
my
again.
chair. I pushed the horse off my chair,
You became
whipped
me
him to get out
again.
again. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys got it?
I'm
Becoming
with you.
Bran, yeah.
You get it, Dane?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's start with a hot take. Let's start with you, Jax. What did you think about this episode? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
And more. I
Wow.
think you know my hot take. Finally, I get to see my man, Bill, in his full glory in the surge. Here's the thing about this episode.
Have you gotten to see Jack Wagner perform live, a concert?
No, I haven't.
But you've met the guy.
Put it on the bucket
Oh,
list.
I've met him. Yeah, I saw him at Christmas Con this last time, and we got a selfie
He's
together.
got nice hands.
Really, yes. Bran.
What? I'm just saying. That's the one thing that I noticed about the guy is he has nice hands.
He smells really good too. Not
Okay,
in a
great.
weird way.
I haven't smelled him.
Not in a weird way. A perfectly normal way.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to meet him yet.
You haven't gotten to
Yeah,
meet.
that's
Oh.
not true. First Christmas
Yeah.
Con, he came into the green room and we were talking with Jonathan Bennett and a few others, and he came over and he said hey to somebody there, and he briefly, Nikki, and Nikki introduced us.
Oh,
and he was
okay.
like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And he walked out.
Great.
did
I
not
don't recall
remember
that at
that.
all.
Yeah.
I'm so
Blissful
sorry.
So
interaction.
it was a moment that changed his life. He doesn't remember.
I was too busy looking at his hands, and I was totally.
I was distracted by the fact that Paul Green was definitely wearing to Christmas Con an outfit he wore on When Calls the Heart.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
really?
Yes.
Was it buttoned all the way down?
It was like it was
a
cold
sweater.
outside, so
Oh,
like a
okay.
pea
He
coat
says he
It
sweater.
did.
doesn't matter. It usually doesn't matter.
That's true,
One
that's true.
more button.
He says that he didn't wear the same thing, but
That's a lie.
I want to talk about this episode in terms of masculinity, which you guys are very familiar with. And we have toxic masculinity in this episode with Nathan.
no one's
Yes.
more masculine than me. That's what I always say. That's
said
what
it.
I'm the
We've said it
definition
for
of
years.
masculinity.
And there's all this toxic masculinity of them being angry at each other over
There is a
Elizabeth.
lot of that, yeah.
And there is this perfect, fine specimen of masculinity in Jack Wagner playing Bill Avery on that horse in that surge. And I love this episode.
You know what
And
we
it's
need
the
more?
hottest of all hot takes. I give it a scalding take just like Panda. I'm sure he would say it. If I was here, I stand by it.
I'm sure
I said what I
he
said.
would say it
If I was here.
That is as
stand
panda
by
a
that.
comment as I've ever heard.
I just want to say
What you're
that
saying is real men spend 4 episodes pining over a red coat.
that's the thing.
Whining about a
Here's the
jacket
thing.
that they never really wore.
That's right.
Didn't
Yeah.
really do anything
Yeah,
in.
that's what a real
and
man
then,
does.
Yeah, that's what a man does.
There's not enough parades celebrating men for reasons that they shouldn't be celebrated. There's not enough of that.
That's right. We don't get a lot,
We don't
especially
get
white men.
Oh my gosh.
There's
There's
not
not
enough.
enough.
They should put a statue up. Of
I
them.
think they should. You want to know what's crazy about this episode is of all of the things that Nathan could have told Elizabeth, this him being basically responsible for the death of her husband was so not on my radar.
Yeah.
Which is so not on my radar when it comes to watching When Calls the Heart.
You stood up.
I'm so used to like it being like, yeah, here it is. Here's the thing. Like, I'm so used to not being surprised with this show that this is a Tinker moment if I've ever seen one.
Tinker
this
Tailor
got
Soldier's
Tinker
Mind.
all
This is
over it. This
just,
got Tinker all over it. I stood up with my laptop. I was like, I can't believe this. It blew my mind. I did not see that coming. And so for that, best episode I can remember in a long time, because there's not many episodes of When Calls the Heart that get me out of my seat. So for that reason, I applaud them, and I say more parades for Jack Wagner.
More parades for Jack
Amen
Wagner.
to that.
The thing is that this show is like a boxer in like the late rounds that's behind, just wildly swinging. Just like every episode is just massive hooks, just trying to connect with something. And you know what? For any other television show, that would be a sign that it's time to lay this thing out to pasture. But for this show, it's a sign of life. Something is happening. They're wailing about, but you know what? That's better than nothing. It's Nathan admitting that his discipline caused Jack to go and get killed. That is absurd on its best day, but it's better than more Lee, Rosemary, Jesse, and Clara talking amongst themselves over tea. So for that reason, I agree with Bran in relation to the rest of what this show has been. I have not been as surprised by a moment since James Brolin walked off the stagecoach and said he was the judge. I was like, holy cow, James Brolin, he's legit. Never to be seen again, R.I.P. James Brolin. This is as surprised as I've been since then. So good for them.
There, they did it. They did it.
Can I ask a quick follow-up? What did you guys think was the secret that was going to happen? Or you just didn't think about
I
it?
thought maybe, I think you said this, Dan, like, I thought maybe he did end up knowing him and, like, he didn't like him or have a good relationship with him. But I didn't think that him being pulled off and Jack being put in his place that would ultimately lead to his death was going to be the thing.
Can I be honest? He said, somebody asked him, Bill asked him, did you know Jack? And he says no. At that point, I didn't think there was a secret any longer. I thought he had declared his love. He didn't know Jack. That was the end of it. I didn't know there was something else.
You thought it was wrapped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't.
It was
No.
not.
It was
In
not.
fact, when she said, there's something you're not telling me, what is it? I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So now we know.
A woman always knows. A
Woman's
woman,
intuition.
A women always knows.
A woman always
We're doing
knows.
it, man.
That's exactly right. A women's intuition and more Jack Wagner. That should be the name of the episode.
That's right.
Let's talk about feels. I mean,
This episode should have been called Mountie Masculinity.
ooh, that would have been good. Jax, do you have any feels? This is going to shock anybody?
Well, no. I think we can't get too deep into the feels because this is
It's a family show.
the family program. But I will say that when Molly she obviously has a big old crush on Bill Avery. Again,
Obviously.
take a number, who doesn't? When she tells him, do us all a favor, put on a good show, I thought that it went beyond the flirtiness of that moment, and it was a friend encouraging another friend, not just on behalf of herself, but on behalf of the community, and telling him that he was supported and held, and I really liked that. Also, not going to lie, love when Lucas spoke French and then said, pardon my French, and I got some feels because I love magic. The Houdini posters on his wall.
There you go. There you
Say
go.
so.
This is was second episode in a row with like one heck of a steamy scene between Lucas and
I was like,
Elizabeth.
is this appropriate
Yeah,
to
like-
be watching?
I know that literally all they were doing is sitting next to each other and holding hands, but like you could have fooled me. Like I thought I had stumbled upon like a part of the internet I don't want to be on. Like, is this the dark web? Like, what's going on here? But no, it's just two people holding hands in 1918. But might as well have been. So I don't know. It was a lot. That scene was a lot.
I will say this for a show that has literally virtually zero chemistry between leads since Jack died. To have two episodes in a row with a scene where I'm like, do they know the camera's on? Like that's how good those two scenes were. Like I'm like, do they know we're filming right now? Like it was impressive.
Yeah.
But I will say this: the Molly thing hasn't worked for me at all until
You got to change your dealer.
she gives what?
It was a Molly joke.
Oh, it's a Molly. So yeah,
Guys.
Molly has no. It's good
Joke
stuff.
boy,
It's good
joke
stuff.
boy.
It's
No,
good
you
stuff.
said
I'm
this
tired.
Molly
It's on me.
thing's not working for me. I said you got to change your dealer.
That's right.
Guys, it's a layer. It's not that layered. It's just not a good joke. But
placebo effect. Okay, I'll see you guys later. So anyway, but when Molly gives the speech, where she basically is like, "You've been sitting here like so mad about this coat for 4 episodes. The clothes don't make the man. You're a man of good moral standing. Just go put on a show and turn the dang thing in."
Yeah,
I thought that was really, really good.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy
speech.
that.
Good speech.
It was better than a 4-episode arc about a jacket deserved.
Dan, I'm so happy that you said that, and I love Joanna Newmarch, and I'm just happy. I feel happy.
It's the little victories.
Good. Christmas is
Would
coming.
you call yourself a Hardy now?
God, no. Show's miserable. On its best day, it's swinging wildly and blindly. On its best day.
But I actually, Dan, I thought that was very evocative the way you described that, and I'm into it because that means it still has fight left in him.
That's right.
In her.
And I tell you what,
in me.
October, Christmas is coming. Dan's getting, turned on by When Calls the Heart. Like,
Wait a minute.
Well,
It's
no, that's
great.
you're confusing me and Dan.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
and also me and you, apparently. Dark web. Like, what are you even talking about?
Let's say,
Adult content is only on the dark web.
let's take a quick break. Let's clear our browsers. We'll be right back.
Pivot.
Here on Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about When Calls the
We
Heart.
covered drugs, adult content on the internet, toxic masculinity. Anything else
I
we
think
got?
we
good?
got it all. We're doing
We good?
really good for 8-8.
Yeah.
I think we're doing pretty.
I've got
pretty.
some wait
Golden
what's on
Goose
the
episode.
troops if you want to. No? Okay, good.
Let's see
About
what.
the first responders.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Let's see what we can do. Let's start with the wait what. Jax, what do you got?
I have 2 little ones. And I actually think this scene is quite lovely and moving when Elizabeth is talking to Angela about reading Braille and wanting to teach her that. However, she tells Angela that because of like the worlds in books, once you learn how to read, you'll never feel lonely again. As someone who is an avid reader, I will tell you, my friend, this is not true. I am lonely a lot. And there's nothing wrong with being lonely. The state of the human condition is that we will feel loneliness and longing sometimes, and that's
I don't
okay.
want to
You
feel
just have to sit
lonely
with
no
it.
more.
I don't only have to pay for this.
Maybe I should read a good book, so I'm not lonely anymore.
Rob Thomas, ladies and gentlemen.
That was really good, you guys. And then I don't know why Nathan came. I'm sure the team Nathan can tell me, but he starts off the episode just sassing Lucas with the save it.
Save
and
it.
I was like, whoa.
Save it.
Okay.
Save it,
Wait,
Lucas.
What happened? Like, I don't even think he was being sassy pants to you.
Yeah, but he did have his little teacup.
Yeah, it's
You're
even out the
right.
saucer.
Save
You're
it.
right. Oh,
He didn't-
we got some intel on that from Sheila. She said Peter DeLuise that Lucas needed something to do in a scene, so that's how they added it. And I guess that's how it continued. So thank you for that insight.
Thanks, Sheila.
Lucas needed something to do in a
Something
scene,
to
so
do,
they
and
said,
it just became a thing. I guess
let's
they had
hand him a teacup and a
He
saucer.
can't just walk empty-handed.
No. I guess he might look too creepy then, and that makes I don't know. I'm just riffing here, but I think it makes him look less like piercing eyes if you're holding a teacup. I'm not
That's
afraid
right.
of a man with a
I will
teacup.
say this: the motto around here is Sheila always knows.
Yeah.
Like if there's ever any question, Sheila knows.
Yeah,
That's what's great about having her around.
that's exactly
God
right.
Bless her.
I have. Did you have any more?
No, that was.
I love that this band comes out every once in a while whenever there's a big event. I think it's wonderful. Good on them. Let's do more gigs. But I don't want to. I don't know why after Bill leaves, they play for another minute or so. They're like, well, this keeps going. And so you've got this very serious conversation between Jack. No, Jack's dead. Between
Jack's dead.
yeah,
Ghost Jack.
between Elizabeth and Nathan, and the band's like, they're like, he's like, I'm responsible for your husband's death. And I just got a kick out of the fact that they're still playing. They're having this very serious conversation while the Ohio State marching band in the background is doing their whole routine. I got a big kick out of that. Dan?
there is a Carson Faith storyline in this episode because we all cared. And basically Faith comes to the realization that they saved Ned together and they did it without all this fancy tools. And Carson comes to the same realization, and he thinks that means they need to go somewhere with fancy tools. She thinks they need to stay here. And she says she's staying here. And Carson says, if you do that, this place that you're working in will be not only outdated, but antiquated as well. Those are the same thing. It's not like it'll be hot outside. It also will be warm. Like you just say the thing. Like, I'm happy that you learned a new word, Paul, but you don't have to say both of them.
I like the way that you're blaming Paul like he wrote the dialogue. Oh, actually, he might have.
Carson.
He might have actually written the dialogue
but
himself.
Antiquated as well. It's unbelievable that you use the same. Not only are they both words, they're both synonyms. Later on, Minnie goes and tells Bill how much she loves the food, so she takes her back to Clara so that she can be like, blah, 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 I love the food. And then Joseph comes in and is like, and that's saying a lot coming from her because she's a great cook. And Bill says, oh, you like to cook? And she says, I'm most at home in the kitchen. And Bill immediately spouts back to Clara, make note of that. What does that mean? Either, I don't know, I know you were praising him, but either he's telling Clara, take a note, this is how you get a man because you're most at home in the kitchen, or it's take notes so you can hire her.
I think it's so that so she won't be homeschooling her daughter anymore because she'll be in school with Elizabeth. So she might want a job.
What does the school have to do with anything?
Well, because what is she going to do in the home all day?
But when she says, I feel most at home in the kitchen, and Bill immediately goes, Clara, make a note of that. What is that supposed to mean?
I took it that they were going to hire her, and I thought my man Bill can do no wrong, and that sounded great.
But the only two ways for that to make sense is Clara, you see, this is what it takes, or Clara, she's better than you.
I thought it was like she can join the team, Clara.
You need somebody else to join the team
because we can have a great team.
Make a note that she feels
Clara wants to be all about the
dress shop.
And the dress shop.
Whatever.
Claire has 3 jobs because
Yeah.
Jesse doesn't have any and spends all her money.
Jesse has a job.
Sort of. He's not
Kind
really,
of,
you guys.
yeah.
He doesn't really
He's
work
assistant
for Lee.
VP of L. Coulter Enterprise.
With pants.
Okay.
He's the pants guy.
And then lastly, has anything escalated more quickly than the Ned Florence relationship?
Wow.
Like 6
Did we
episodes,
miss
they
signs?
were not even kind of coworkers, and now they're engaged and haven't kissed yet. I like Elizabeth. There are 3 couples I think that met and got married or engaged in the time it took her to marry Jack. But this is setting a new standard here. They are really moving quickly.
Well, you have Rachel and Christopher making out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's wild out there.
It's next level.
That's all I got.
Hopes and Valleys part of the show. We talk about one in this episode gave us hope for the future, and maybe it was bumming us out. Jax?
In this episode, bumming me out, ticking me off. I cannot believe that, and I did say this on the original recap that I did about this show, about this episode.
Wow.
I could not believe that Nathan and Elizabeth were bickering during Bill's moment. I thought it was so disrespectful. It was in front of everyone.
You started getting angry when we were watching.
Well, they
Yeah, you
kind of
saw me.
paused. They kind of paused. And
They paused for 2 seconds, then it was like, back to me. Now's the moment that I need to have this fight. We can have it any other time, but I want to take away from the man of the hour. Let him have 1 hour. That was my valley. My hope is that Bill is going to ride back into town, a new man, knowing that he doesn't need the uniform because, as you said, Dan, Molly lets him know that the uniform doesn't make the man.
That's right.
That's right. I hope that now that Bill and Molly have had this conversation, Bill gets back into town, we finally get to see those 2 kids get together. Because what's one more couple that falls in love before Elizabeth and Lucas finally do? So I'd like to see those 2 finally, because clearly she likes him, and he has kind of been ignoring that. So I would like that to happen. And no Valleys today. I'm not allowing it happening. It's October, and nothing can get me down.
Valleys is still having to watch this show. My hope is that Martin Cummins does give a really great monologue here about being a dad.
I hope so.
And I feel like
she's so good.
Maybe they found something. He's good in spite of the material they're giving him. And he was best as a villain. And since then, they've been grasping at straws. But maybe they found something here, and maybe that will continue forward. And maybe
dad trying to
Gowan will be back for real.
Gowan is back.
Yeah.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. Another episode. Do we got a What's Calling My Heart this week?
We do. Email us hello@deckthehallmark.com and tell us what's calling your heart. This is from Jillian Rosenberg.
Jillian.
Yeah, you got it. Hi, Dan, Bran, Jax, Brian, Rig, Tracy, and Panda.
Hello.
I know. Hi there. I know Panda isn't there, but it doesn't feel right not to include him.
Fair.
What's calling my heart is Boss Baby Fest.
Yes.
Man, what a time that was. Wow, what a well-run event.
She went.
I was off at Bramblefest meeting double-deckers, singing karaoke and laughing at all the bits. My daughter was having a wonderful time with all the other Boss Babies.
Oh, no.
They had all her favorite snacks and toys, and she made so many new friends. They even had toy 4-for-2s as prizes. That's true. Please thank Rig for organizing such a fun event. We will definitely be returning next year.
Wow.
P.S. What will it take to get Rippy back in the studio with you guys? Does he need money to buy more years? A dozen racks of ribs, naps included. Whatever it takes, let's make it happen. I am one of Rippy's biggest fans, and I miss him. Love you guys, Jillian. Jillian, God bless you.
They love Rippy over there. I got to say, Rig, a few weeks ago, I trashed Boss Baby Fest. I said, but it sounds like you
taking the world by storm.
It sounds like you threw a tip-top event, buddy.
Oh, we always do. The Red Roof Inn only does it one way. Classy.
Thanks, buddy.
I know those doors lead right outside, but you can class it up.
Yeah.
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Not this guy. Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
That's where the party don't stop.
Is it hard to find 3 conjoining rooms?
Never.
Not
when you book a year in advance like we do. Boss Baby Fest 2023 already booked.
When is it?
Not gonna tell you.
Okay, great. That'd be a choice. We did, everybody. Congratulations. We're gonna be back next time with another one. Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is the That Sounds Fun podcast. It's produced by Tracy Nillis Name. It's recorded live in that Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com.